live. Let me see. Y'all can hear this kind of clear? What's that? Yeah, but it's if it comes out of that speaker and plays over here, it's going to. Okay. All right. Okay. I know, so. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and clap it up. All right. Shalom, Akim. Shalom, Akwathian out there online. Let's go ahead and just get straight into it. Any questions? Go ahead.
Sir, if I may, can I get a general breakdown on book of Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16?
All right. Sweat. Isaiah 3 and 16. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah chapter 3 and verse 16.
Mm-hmm.
Moreover, the Most High said,
Right.
because the daughters of Zion are haughty and walk with stretched forth necks,
right,
and wanton eyes,
walking
with mincing as they go,
walking and mincing
as they go, and making tinkling with their feet.
Right. Okay. What's your question? Specific question?
Well, sir, I just want to know how I would break this down properly.
Okay. So the first thing you want to do is look up the word haughty. All right. Right. I'm almost gonna ask Alexa to do it. But let's see when you get in. All right.
The definition of haughty: arrogantly superior and disdainful.
Okay. Read it again from the top.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the daughters of Zion are haughty.
They are what? Read it from the definition.
Are arrogant.
Damn. Read it again. The daughters of Zion are what? And read from the definition.
Oh God.
Another word. The daughters of Zion are arrogant.
Moreover, the Lord says, because the daughters of Zion are disdainful.
They are what?
Disdainful.
Okay, they are another word, and keep reading as the definition goes. They're arrogant. They're disdainful. They are. You don't have to just keep reading the word from your definition.
And walk with stretched forth necks.
No. Anything else on that word, haughty, to describe the word? Give me 2 or 3 words to describe the word haughty.
Proud.
So they are arrogant, proud, and disdainful. Alexa, what is the definition of disdainful?
Disdainful means showing scorn or contempt for something considered unworthy. Want to see how it's
Alexa,
spelled?
stop. All right. The moreover, read it again from the top now, all the way from the top. Mm-hmm.
Moreover, the Lord said, because the
daughters of Zion, blacks, Hispanic, and Native American women, right, are prideful, are disdainful, are arrogant, right? Keep going.
And walk with stretched forth necks.
Now, what does that mean? What do you think that means?
It's like it's like chest out.
Yeah,
proud.
Exactly. They're walking arrogantly. They're walking haughtily. They're walking with their head and their necks out. And you know that black woman's neck get to moving. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna mimic it too much, but you know how that thing get to swaying back and forth. You understand? Keep going.
And wanton eye.
Yeah, the eyes of a whore. They say you can recognize a whore by her eyes. You know what I'm saying? How they look at you is that same look. All right, keep going.
Walking and mincing.
Right.
As they go.
Mm-hmm.
And making tinkling with their feet.
It's like a whore. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all the sounds and the bells and the jewelry. You can just hear how a whore walks. Them flip flops. Y'all remember them? Y'all don't remember them beauty shop supply flip flops and bras used to be wearing back in them days. You know what I'm saying? The jellies and all the little just whole gear. That is what is being talked about here. So keep reading. This is, yeah.
Verse 17.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, the Lord will smite with a scab, the crown of the head of the daughters of Zion.
Yeah, for a long time, especially amongst the tribe of Judah and Benjamin, Levi, a lot of sisters couldn't grow no hair. The scab of their head, like they can't grow hair anymore, doesn't grow long. And a lot of that now we're seeing more and more sisters who are able to grow their hair because they stopped getting them goddamn perms. Them perms was tearing their hair up, Akim, for years and years and years until recently they made a movie talking about how the perms was destroying their brain, making them act a certain way, giving them cancer, and not letting their hair grow. You know what I'm saying? They thinking black women can't grow their hair, but that was also one of the curses of the Lord. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And the Lord will discover their secret part.
Ooh-wee. What does that mean? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll take that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All of that. They secret part. The Lord gonna see where whores do they business at. The Lord's gonna see that, and He's gonna visit you there. If you drop down to verse 24, it goes on to this. Let's keep going. As a matter of fact, we'll keep going.
Oh God.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18.
Mm-hmm.
In that day, the Lord will take away the bravery of their tinkling ornaments about their feet and their claws and their caws
Mm-hmm.
and their round tires like the moon.
Ooh, this is some One West precepts right here. What's the round tires? That's Izar. Like the moon. It's all right. You gonna take a shot at it?
Like I'm thinking the earring.
Mm-hmm. This is a nigga talking. You know what I mean? What do they call it when an Edomite they be playing around? They show you their ass. They mooning you. The moon, they tired. Yeah, that butt. You know what I'm saying? Lord gonna take all that away from him. You know what I mean? So he said the Lord will take away all those things. I feel like that's happening in the Bay Area. I don't know. I'm like, man, I got to go down south. I don't know what's going on with Judites in the Bay Area. You know what I mean? They are not holding up to the standard of what Judah is supposed to represent. You know what I mean? They didn't got skinny off these pills. Everybody look like Whitney Houston out here, man. I don't know if they eat Edomite food. They done lost a complete culture. They don't cook the food. They're not built the same like they used to be built. And it ain't a genetic thing because their mama was built that way. They getting built like they on dope. Go ahead, as they are. Nah, this is before Ozempic got it. I've been seeing this before that was invented. It's been going on, and at least in the California, I ain't gonna just say the Bay Area, the West Coast, California, the Judite women out here are a lot more skinny, the ones that are skinny, than sisters in other areas in Texas and down south. They're not eating like they're eating out down there. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't know, like uprising,
They ain't gaining it from food. It ain't natural. You know what I mean? But this is curses. You know what I mean? That's coming to the woman. So the first one, when you say the sister that, what was the description of the word? It said the wanton eyes and the haughty. That sounds like Sexy Red. It sounds like Megan Thee Stallion. It sounds like Cardi B. It sounds like Beyonce. All these bras that females look up to, they're the whores online. That spirit has gone throughout our community. The Lord's going to deal with them for this. Let's keep reading, though, for time's sake. All right.
Verse 19. The chains and the bracelets and the mufflers.
Ooh, verse 20. You know this is Israelites.
Verse 20, the bonnet.
The what?
The bonnet.
Yeah, they got niggas wearing bonnets now, too. I don't know what's going on in the world. You know what I mean? The goddamn bonnets. All right, keep reading.
And the ornaments.
Come on, let's wake it up. You know what I mean? Read that, man. Come on. You know what I mean?
And the ornaments of the leg.
Right.
And the headband.
All that. Keep going. Let's read it quickly.
And the tablets.
Earring.
And the earrings. Verse 21. The rings. And the nose jewels.
This is all the different things these bras be wearing and putting them on. Let's drop down to verse 24.
Verse 24. And it shall come to pass.
Right.
That instead of sweet smell, there shall be a stink.
Ooh, what they call that? pH, high pH, low pH. I don't know what kind of pH these bras got, or they got a lot of pH going on. They say that pH be coming from dealing with a lot of different men, different rods coming in and out of them. There's a stink there that's among these sisters that's not like any other. You know what I'm saying? This is not what Parliament and Funky Delic was talking about with that sweet, that nasty, that funky stuff. This is just real, just funky. You know what I'm saying? This is not a good thing. And this is a curse that these sisters have been given for the way they've been carrying themselves. Keep going.
And instead of girdle of light, and instead of girdle of rent,
it's going to be torn in clothes. Instead of a nice garment that she's wearing, it's going to be torn clothes. Keep going.
And instead of well-set hair, baldness.
Yeah, that Jewish woman ain't dealing with this. Once again, remember we were talking about that? Like, these other nations don't fit what the Bible says is going to happen. We've seen this amongst our people. That scene from Friday when she pulled that goddamn wig off. When Smokey thought he had somebody Janet Jackson, she pulled it. Goddamn. Yeah, all of these things. Keep going.
And instead of a stomacher of girding of sackcloth, and burning instead of beauty.
Right. So these are, once again, so that's what all this spirit behind this. And it goes on to talk about the brothers that's going to die in war. These are the things that the nation of Israel will go through because of us disobedience to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Can I get a breakdown on Revelation 13 verses 1 through 2?
All right. Let's go ahead.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority.
All right. What's the specific question?
I just wanted you to generally like break it down, because a lot of people on TikTok think that this is a Leviathan. They think that Leviathan is literally going to come out of the sea and destroy everything.
Okay. That's where the hell. Okay. you in weed smoking rooms, Doc. Okay. These different things. So they said, read verse 13 again. So it says,
this is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea.
All right, go back up a little bit. Go to verse, go to verse 12 of chapter 12, verse 12.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right. So these are the prophecies about the last days, what's going to happen when we're seeing these wars, rumors of wars, famines, World War III on the rise. The devil has come down unto you. The white man is coming to visit all nations. He's going amongst to and fro in the earth to bring pain, destruction, punishment, and death. And this is in order so he can save his kingdom. Keep going.
Verse 13.
Because he knows we have a short time too. He knows the prophecies just like everyone else. They said when Christ came, the demons knew Christ. They were like, just have mercy on us. Don't do this, my Lord. They knew who Yahushua was, and they submitted and obeyed to what he was doing. They had no choice. And they thought Christ had a demon because he was able to command the demons. Like, these devils know our records and study our records more than we do because they know this is their fate. He knows he has a short time. Read verse 13.
Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man child.
What does that mean?
And he persecuted the woman is Israel.
Right. And who was the man child?
The man child is Christ.
Yeah, give it to the brother. All right. Keep going.
Verse 14. And to the woman were given 2 kings, like 2 wings of a great eagle.
Of a great eagle, right?
That she might fly into the wilderness.
All right, pause. Read.
Into her place.
Pause. Read.
Where she is nurtured for a time. And times. And half a time.
Right.
From the face of the serpent.
Right. So there's going to be a time, right, that they're going to try to destroy the children of Israel. And then they're going to go to war with themselves. We will be brought into the wilderness to go and prepare and come back and go to war and put everyone in their place. All right. Keep going.
Verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Right. So these are lies that the white man has sent out to wash out the things that the children of Israel were learning from Christ, to hide our history, to hide our identity. That water that's flying out of the serpent's mouth are the lies that come to destroy the children of Israel. That's the woman. All right. Keep going.
Verse 16.
Mhm.
And the earth helped the woman,
Right.
and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Right. So once again, I mean, I would just ask anyone reading this, is this a specific woman? This is a real woman. This is a story about just one woman. Who is this broad? Who is this bitch? You know what I'm saying? Who the hell are they talking about? Is this an analogy, an example, or is this a literal woman? If it's not, then why are you making this literal dragon an actual dragon, an actual Leviathan, and a beast and an animal? You're just going up and getting the context of the story, then you'll see who all these characters are. Keep going.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth.
Oh, Salaki. And the earth helped the woman. That is the earth containing the records that we have. The Lashawan Kodash being revealed. All the stories about Alexander the Greek and all the history from Josephus to the books of these records coming out of the Russian icons. All the different information that was supposed to be hidden away during the Dark Ages, when they tried to whitewash everything of the Bible. The earth held on to these certain records and artifacts that prove the Los Lunas tablets that have ancient Hebrew here that was found in the Americas. Different things that show that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites. Those things were held in the earth, and that's how the earth helped the woman or the children of Israel. And these things begin to be opened up in the last days. And keep going.
Verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman,
Mm-hmm.
and went to make war with the serpent socket, with the remnant of her seed.
Right. The so-called white man was angry with the children of Israel and wants to go to war with us, wants to destroy us and enslave us so that we never rise up and gain the kingdom of heaven. Keep going.
Which kept the commandments of God.
Right. This is key right here. They don't just hate the children of Israel, the remnant of the seed that keep the commandments of God. We are the threat to their empire because everyone else is going to go along to get along, whatever the hell that means, whatever they believe is right. If they teach that it's okay for the LGBT this and the trans this and the gay movement that, if they teach whatever thing, Christmas, Thanksgiving, holidays, everyone in the world goes along with it. The only people that don't go along with the empire is the children of Israel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
And have the testimony of Yahushua Yamashiach.
Right. The brothers that are in the truth are the only vessels that the Lord has left. Those 7,000 that have not bowed to Baal that it talks about. I believe that's in Chronicles or it might be Kings. But these 7,000 men that have not bowed to Baal is the thorn in the side of this empire. Let's keep going.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea
Mm-hmm.
and saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
Right. And in your perverted, high, smoking weed mind, you visualizing a goddamn giant animal, Godzilla, hopping out the sea. You understand? Having 7 heads and 10 horns. But that is just the 7 markets and the 10 coming out of these 10 nations. Right? That's all this is. It's talking about different nations. This beast is the European nations, these different 10 nations. So I think if I can go off my memory, you got France, Spain, Germany. It's always one I always forget. The UK, go ahead. United States, Britain, United States, and this one is random ass small. So like Italy, there's another one. It's a name we usually don't hear about. Small country. It might be part of it, but it's another one. But either way, I could get the list of these 10 nations. Mm-hmm. Right.
Does the bear represent Like why it says that the bear representing Russia?
Not in this context. Not from my memory. Not the bear Russian lie. Keep going.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns.
That's how you know it's 10 different nations, right? Keep going.
And upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Right. So all of these nations come together to destroy the children of Israel. Blasphemy, speaking against the Lord and his chosen. Keep going.
And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard.
Right. So this is like unto now. This one right here, I don't want to say it, but I want to say we know the leopard was Alexander the Greek. We talked about this, like the Greek Empire, and the feet were as a bear. I believe that's the Persian Empire. So these things, they're following the mouth of the lion thing. That's the Babylonians. They are liking themselves to these former kingdoms, but don't quote me on that. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And it just goes on. It's talking about these different this nation, which we would know would be America in these last days, fighting against the children of Israel. I guess the way you can prove that is just by going down to verse 9 and verse 10. These classic precepts.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
If any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
Mm-hmm.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
Right. So we know this ain't no Leviathan to let nobody into captivity. No animal has ever done it. I don't know where they're coming up with these breakdowns, but Lord be with the brother that got the patience to deal with these people. Good.
It's a lot of this, sir. We.
Yeah, exactly. See the brother? He learning. So once again, you can entertain and try to prove to them that this means something else, or you can just talk about weed. That's what I would do. Nigga, you're a drug addict. You're filthy. You gotta talk about it because coming out of the world too, we've been trained to think it's just a little weed. Nah, you're a drug addict. You are no different than a crackhead. Oh, they're gonna laugh at you. You don't think you crazy. You need to show them that you are worse than a crackhead. Because a crackhead will tell you there's something wrong with smoking crack. Weed head is going to make a holiday for it. A weed head is going to buy a shirt with it. A weed head is going to worship it 24/7, 365, and feel good about being a drug addict.
Right.
That's not what's right. So I'll spend my time doing that with them. But anything else? All right. Any other questions? We good? All right. No sweat. Let's get straight into it. The title of the class is a title that never gets old. It's something that should be studied the way they study us. Is the white man is the devil. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna just keep knocking at that door, man. Showing these things. So give me, what is it? I think I want 2nd Ezra 6 and 9. Yeah, that's what I want. Let's go up a little bit.
So like you said, verse 7?
Yeah.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6 and verse 7. Then answered I.
Start at verse 6.
Verse 6. Then did I consider these things.
Right. Then did I consider these things. Read.
And they all were made through me alone.
Right. Remember us, you know what I'm saying? When I pause, go ahead. You know what I mean? In your mind, like we was talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Read it again.
Then did I consider these things.
Then did I consider these things. Read.
and they all were made through me alone.
Right. Everything that the Lord created, everything was made through the Lord alone. Keep going.
And through none other.
Uh-huh.
By me also they shall be ended.
Right. Everything shall be ended. You understand? The Lord is going to destroy the world and how it is today. He let these people rise up and make these different empires. The Lord is going to destroy them as well. Keep going.
And be none other.
Mm-hmm.
Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the time?
Mm-hmm. What will be, well, how are we going to know when things are going to change from one way to another way? Keep going.
And when shall be the end of the first and beginning of it that followeth?
Right. How are we going to know when these things are going to happen? Verse 8, go ahead.
And he said unto me,
Mm-hmm.
from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born.
When who?
When Jacob and Esau were born.
Keep going.
Of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Right. Keep going.
Verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world.
For the white man is the end of the world. His rulership, his domination, there's been different times. You had Mansa Musa, the Hamite that ruled, the Egyptians that ruled. You had the Babylonians, all these different nations have had their time. The Moabites, the Chinese had their times to rule. But the white man has gotten to the point, white supremacy, they figured out a way to rule the world like no one else has ever done. That is the end of the world, though. Keep going. Or this society. Esau is the end of this society. Uh-huh.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followed.
Right. So the fact that they've gone and become so powerful is proving that now it's time for us to come up and rise up and be more powerful. All right. Let's go to I'm gonna play a little bit from this thing right here, and then we'll go on to read some of this book, and then we'll come back to some precepts. This is
again, or going back to some problem related to compulsive overconsumption.
This is talking about
or
people being addicted to drugs.
But the opposite is also true. So some people say that they actually do better when there's stress in their lives, and it's when that stress is removed and they feel like, oh, I can relax my boundaries or my guardrails. And those individuals are more vulnerable to compulsive overconsumption in times when things are going well. So things going badly can be a trigger, and things going well can be a trigger depending upon your unique life history and unique wiring. There's a wonderful animal experiment where if you put a rat in a cage with a lever to press for cocaine, that rat will press that lever till exhaustion or death, which is essentially the animal model of addiction. But if before the rat becomes addicted, if the cocaine is then removed such that pressing that lever no longer yields the reward, that rat will eventually extinguish that lever pressing behavior. So they'll stop pressing the lever, right? They'll stop doing the work. It can take a while, but eventually they won't press the lever anymore. Now, if that same rat, after a period of time, is then exposed to a very painful foot shock, the first thing the rat will do in response to that painful foot shock is run over and start pressing that lever again. And to me, that's just a wonderful model of what we see in humans, that when individuals are under extreme stress, they are typically more vulnerable to relapse because their brain has already encoded using these high dopamine rewards in response to any kind of pain as a way to get out of that state.
So we talked about the pleasure-pain balance here. But if in my life I experience some form of pain, I'm likely to go and seek out pleasure, and stress could theoretically be considered a form of pain.
Yeah, which is why people with severe childhood trauma are at higher risk for addiction. There are probably epigenetic changes that are happening at the level of DNA expression in their brains, making them more vulnerable to addiction. We know that people who are living in poverty are more vulnerable to addiction.
Damn.
People who are struggling with multi-generational trauma,
God damn.
unemployment.
This is the part that really she started kicking it up. You know what I mean? But the reason why, once again, like to show that the white man is the devil. I don't know if y'all can hear that too clearly, but y'all heard what she said, what she started listening out. She said people that have childhood trauma are more likely to become addicted to substances because she said you might quit and get off of the wagon, but you'll fall off when you start getting stressed out again or going through a situation. Just like the rat, when it was just giving the dope. He didn't even need the dope. He just using it. But then when he got stressed and shocked, it goes back to the lever trying to get the dope again to alleviate his pain or escape from what's going on. And they're saying that people that grow up, I see people that grow up with childhood trauma are more likely. Let's read that list again. I mean, I'm gonna go to that list again. So I don't want to pull it back too far, but 32 right here. But go ahead. The list of stuff she listed describes Blacks and Latinos and Native Americans. Perfect. Like there's no one else experiencing this more than niggas. All right, go ahead.
So like you said, they actually call it epigenetics.
Yeah, she said that too.
Epigenetics, where certain things that are passed down from your parents, and it's passed down. They did another rat study where the rat will go towards the tree.
Okay.
This fruit tree.
Okay.
And once they get to it, the rat will get shocked every time they go to it, and eventually the rat will stop going to it. But then when that rat started to have children, the children wouldn't even go near the tree at all.
Damn.
They wouldn't go near it at all. So it got passed. Like how would that child know if that child never experienced even being shocked by trees because it got passed down through the genetics.
Right.
And it's no difference than somebody would be driving down the highway. You see the police officer there, and you get like a jump scare.
Right.
That got passed down from your genetics down from your parents to you. That's why you feel the jump scare.
Yeah, to the brother hand. Yeah. That's another video. I don't know if I'm gonna see if I can pull that one out too, because it was something that added up. But I told the brother earlier this morning, man, the guy was talking about how much damage was done during slavery and captivity. And it said not only compounding the amount of money that could have been made, the amount of money that could have been lost. That was lost in slavery, and then all the money that they did make off of us, they should have paid us. The debt is like $800 trillion. And that's just Judahites and Benjamites. $800 trillion should be paid to us for how far they got ahead of what we did. Now you throw in there Hispanics and Native Americans, they don't have enough money to pay us. You know what I'm saying? Like they go ahead.
They gonna pay us. They gonna pay us. They gonna serve us, and you know what I'm saying. We gonna put them to slavery. That's how they gonna pay us.
Right. Damn right. You're definitely right. I would not say that's the wrong answer. I would just add on, they don't have enough to pay us and keep the life that they're living. Let me say that. Let me be a little bit clear. They can't keep Starbucks and pay us back. The American economy will crash. The European economy will crash. There will be no more of these goddamn empires running around if they pay us back what they owe us. Because they'd have to either say, I'm going poor and I'm going to pay these niggas, or I'm going to keep some of my money and never pay them. They said we betting on keeping all the money and never paying them. They ain't never going to do nothing about it. You look what we did to Venezuela. Look what we did to them. China can't touch us. We're untouchable. You know what I'm saying? That's that precept. We talked about it last time, the pride of Esau. You know what I'm saying? Who will bring me down? Matter of fact, give me that 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 3.
This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, chapter 2 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Let no man deceive you
Mm-hmm.
by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first.
Right. Everything that Donald Trump is doing, that these white supremacists are doing, is the falling away of, that they're revealing themselves. Keep going.
And that man of sin be revealed.
Right. You listen to this, then you read the Bible, and then you hear what this white woman is saying, you know that she's talking about the children of Israel. She's not talking about nobody else fits what she's talking about. There's a falling away, there's a revealing of what the white man has done. There's no way you should be able to watch this and think about any other group of people. You know what I'm saying? But they're gonna watch it and just think about one random white boy in the middle of Mississippi that's smoking meth. This ain't about him. This is happening to a nation of people to what she's talking about. All right, keep going.
The son of perdition, who oppresseth,
Who opposes?
who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God.
Anything that can be considered righteous and of the Lord, they go against that. Everything the Lord wants, the oppressor hates. We shouldn't eat shrimp. The oppressor makes it a delicacy. We shouldn't sleep with whores. They make whoredom the way of life and create OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever that the Lord hates, they exalt it and raise it up as something great. Keep going.
Or that is worshipped, so that he, as God sitteth in the temple of God,
Right.
showing himself that he is God.
Right. They want to make themselves a god. That's the pride of Esau. All right. But let's I'm gonna play this part again a little bit.
So we talked about the pleasure-pain balance here. So, but if in my life I experience some form of pain, I'm likely to go and seek out pleasure, and stress could theoretically be considered a form of pain.
Yeah, which is why people with severe childhood trauma are at higher risk for addiction. There are probably epigenetic changes that are happening at the level of
been changed because of this. All right.
DNA expression in their brains, making them more vulnerable to addiction. We know that people who are living in poverty are more vulnerable to addiction.
Poverty, more likely to get high on hardcore drugs.
People who are struggling with multi-generational trauma.
Multi-generational trauma. So that your grandmother went through trauma, your great-grandmother went through trauma, your great-great-grandmother went through trauma. People like this are more likely to get high. And then you'll hear, we was on TikTok battling, the brother was like, yeah, man, they didn't make you smoke crack. You didn't have to pick up the crack when they dropped it off in the hood, and they still try to blame you. Like, none of them want to blame the devil. Y'all heard people make them type of arguments? Like, the white man didn't make you smoke crack. You don't understand this stuff, man. She understands it. If there's a white woman on crack and she been through these things, even a small portion, she like, that makes sense. It's scientifically proven that if she's not smoking crack, something is wrong with her. Right. It's not something wrong with you for smoking crack. Something is wrong with you because you didn't get high. You understand? Keep going.
Unemployment, major social and geographic.
Get her a headband, put her chill her ass down, man. Read. You know what I mean?
Graphic dislocation. Those individuals are more vulnerable to addiction. So environmental stresses.
I think she said something about environmental dislocation. They moving you around is a reason to get high. They talking about from one side of town to another side of town to another city. Moving from LA to the Bay Area might make you want to get high because you're stressed out. They moved us from ancient Israel all the way over here, man.
Definitely play a role.
You know what I
we
mean?
also know that co-occurring psychiatric disorders make people.
So that's it. I'm gonna end that on that. But let me get Ezekiel 35, and then I'm gonna read some of this book. Put out a couple more precepts, and we'll go ahead. Get on up out of here, man. But you was talking about earlier, we were talking about speaking in parables and things of that nature. Go into that a little bit. Ezekiel 35. Start at verse. Start at verse 5.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, that's one thing that's worries to see us at this time. Like the time when our iniquity had an end, it's time for them to ease up and free us and let these things go. Their hatred is increasing with us. Right. I really get amazed when you go online, especially Yawasab get under their skin, man, on the post that he makes on Facebook or whatever, Instagram. These devils get on there and they hatred of for us. It's amazing. Once again, to me, I love when they talk about us being criminals. It just either they're extremely ignorant or extremely racist or a little bit of both. But there's no way that you can think that black people are the biggest criminals on earth. It might be petty criminals, but you bringing that up shows how childish you are, or how racist you are. You know what I'm saying? It's like it can't be both. Like, how can you look at the guy that's running that at an insurance company that took advantage of people getting grandmas killed for insurance money and say that he's not a worse criminal than the cat that robbed a liquor store? Right. You know what I'm saying? How can you say he's what's wrong with society? The gang members in Chicago, when Donald Trump just sent his men to kill 83 people on a boat for no reason, and then went in and took $12 billion of oil. That's not a crime. You know what I'm saying? He stole $12 billion. It might be more than that. I think it was $25 billion, something like that. Alexa, how much is the value of oil that Donald Trump just took from Venezuela? You got it?
President Trump recently announced a deal involving 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil, valued at up to $2.8 billion. The U.S. has already completed its first sale of this oil, valued at $500 million.
Alexa, stop. See, she be lying, so she worked with him. Go ahead. What's the real number? Yeah. And you're spying too. They hear it every class. They get every Alexa bring it straight. Y'all seen that movie with that rich Edomite? The Franco dude? And that Alexa was in there snitching and telling everything, setting them up. Alexa in here got everything recorded. He called me a bitch 4 times. I didn't like that.
No, it's locked. It's actually $4 billion.
$4 billion?
Yeah, yes.
I'm telling you, man, I heard more. You said 4?
Yeah, that's what Donald Trump had said.
Oh yeah, nah, man. I heard something different. Let me look it up on Google. Google a little bit more honest. How much is the value of the oil Trump took from Venezuela? Let me see if it comes up. I heard 12 or even higher of some of these things, man. Right. Exactly. The biggest height. And no, in that, man, see, but you're wrong. You know what I mean? Which is, now I gotta find the tape. Okay, I keep hearing 2.8 billion. That's what it's saying. You said 4. I gotta go and find my source that said it was like 12 billion. Maybe I'm off though, but it is definitely, even that $2 billion, $3 billion is a lot of goddamn money. That's just the first round though. He's already sold this stuff, 500 million worth of it in a week. You know, time seems like it's moving fast too. This literally just happened a week and a half ago. You know what I'm saying? He done took their dope and sold their dope immediately. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say too, it was like, I feel like last week was like yesterday.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, for you? to me, with these news cycles, I'm like, man, that was just 6-7 days ago. What?
Like I said, I'm like, Charlie Kirk was just unalive.
When was that? It feels like 10 years ago. What day, Alexa, what day did Charlie Kirk pass away, unalive?
Charlie Kirk was fatally shot on September 10th, 2025, while speaking at Utah
Alexa,
Valley.
stop. September, October, November, December, January. This is like 4 months ago. Yeah. So much stuff has happened. Yeah, when you live on the internet, that's why I figured what's going on. You're being bombarded with so much information, so much content, and they're cut it up into these shorts. And so it's like you can go from one thing to the next thing to the next thing, and you're getting so much information that the news cycles used to slow it down. And if you watch the nightly news, you're going to get a segment on this, and it slows that day down. And it seems like time is moving quicker because from that time of Charlie Kirk, think about how much information we've consumed online from this day to this story, to this day to that story, to this day to that story. So I feel like it's also making the time feel like it's going quicker. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Just off the top of my head, I remember that scripture where it says the Lord is going to make the time go fast. Because
Matthew 24.
Yeah.
You shorten the days. Yeah, that's what it seems like. Oh, that's what it is. You understand? Video unavailable. Good night. That video I played last week, then YouTube then took it down. Want to go ahead?
So you said I was wrong about this heist being the biggest heist. What is the biggest heist?
I'm gonna give you all
in the history of Babylon.
Who wants to take a shot at it? I already say it again. Hold on. Let me see. What's that? Blah, blah, blah. Let me see if this comes up, man. Yeah. It says, what y'all got? Oh, I thought you was looking up the different, the bigger. What do you got? Yep.
It says the biggest heist in history is widely considered the Central Bank of Iraq robbery in 2003, where Saddam Hussein, so it's like Saddam Hussein, orchestrated the theft of nearly $1 billion in cash just before the U.S. invasion.
We gotta get this thing hooked to the speaker. Is it available? Can we do it real quick? Wisha? Let me see. I don't know if we got that cord up here that goes into it. Shit. I want y'all to hear this nice and loud. You know what I mean? He said, how much was it? Damn, they call that a heist too? Damn. Most High in Christ, man. That still ain't the biggest heist, man. Small time. He said Donald Trump just took about 2.83 billion. We don't know where that cord is at. Let me see. I'm getting up and moving around like I'm a I'm gonna find it quicker and stuff. So like for the people online, they probably ignore, man. Let's see. Here it is right here. Let's see what I got water right here. Yeah, we're gonna have to pour some more water real quick. Okay. Yes. Fun. Is it gonna reach around? I can move this down. Salaki to those online. They might not even be with us no more. So okay, we still got 4 people on here. All right, you can put it on the auxiliary. All right, I'm gonna share the screen. All right. Boom. Present. Share screen. I'm gonna open up one more. YouTube. Okay. So a few things I want to do real quick. Terry with me for a minute. Suffer with me. Okay. Let's see. So, okay, let me see. This one seems like it might be pretty good.
Billion in the news all the time. Taylor Swift's Eras Tour grossing $1 billion. According to Forbes magazine, Detroit Lions are worth $3.6 billion. According to Wikipedia, Warren Buffett has a net worth of $119 billion. And for me, as well as I think a lot of people, it's hard to wrap our heads around how big these numbers actually are. So let me offer the following example to try and put $1 billion into perspective. Let's say I gave you $10,000 cash. That would be 100 $100 bills. And even with inflation, for the average person, $10,000 is still a pretty good day at the office. Now, let's say I gave you this $10,000 wad of cash every single day. So Monday, you have $10,000. Tuesday, you have $20,000. And by the end of the week, you have $70,000. So my question to you is this. If we continue at this pace of me giving you $10,000 a day, every single day, how many days would it take to reach $1 million? Answer, 100 days, which is just a little over 3 months. So congratulations, you're now a millionaire. So let's keep this going. If I'm still giving you $10,000 a day every single day, how long would it take for you to reach $1 billion? The difference between a million and $1 billion is just 3 zeros, right? At the rate of $10,000 a day, every single day, to get to $1 billion, it'll take approximately 274 years. That's nearly 3 centuries. That is insane. Okay, so now let's say you have
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying, man. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. We're gonna run it back, and this is why it's important, you know what I mean, to see these things, all right? So he said, if I give you 10K for every day, in 7 days, you'll have 70 bands. You will cuss out your mama and leave your woman. If somebody F them kids, I'm quitting my job. If I got a lick where I'm getting 10 bands every day, we good. We out the hood. Everybody eating, and how much food do we need? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever liquor you want, 10 bands a day, I'm good, bro.
$1 million. Answer, 100 days, which is just a little over 3 months. So congratulations.
In 100 days, 10 stacks every day, you will have $1 million within 3 days. That's all a nigga dream to get, is to get $1 million. Ever since the 90s, $1 million, you feel like you made it. If I had $1 million a day, you may feel a little broke in the Bay Area, but you would not feel that broke. You'd be like, okay, I'm doing straight. I got $1 million.
now a millionaire. So let's keep this going. If I'm still giving you $10,000 a day, every single day, how long would it take for you to reach $1 billion? The difference between a million and $1 billion is just 3 zeros, right? At the rate of $10,000 a day, every single day, to get to $1 billion, it'll take approximately 274 years. That's nearly 3 centuries. That is insane. Okay, so now let's say you have $1 billion in your possession. What could you do with that amount of money? Well, if you did nothing and just parked it in a savings account at your bank, and yes, I know you can't just go down to your local bank and deposit $1 billion. We're just talking hypotheticals here. But if you were only collecting a measly 3% annual interest on your $1 billion, you'd collect $30 million a year in interest. Let's look at this in terms of homes. In most places, you can get a pretty nice house for about $500,000. With $1 billion, you could buy 2,000 of these $500,000 homes and give them out as Christmas gifts or whatever you want. Or you could do like Mr. Beast does and help those less fortunate, whether it be providing food, housing, clean drinking water, or whatever social cause you're passionate about to make the world a better place. And you'd still have plenty left for your garage full of expensive cars. Anyway, that's how big $1 billion is. So the next time you see a corporation reporting a $20 billion profit, or the government wanting to invest $50 billion into some project, instead of looking at those figures like monopoly money, hopefully you now have a better feel for how big those numbers actually are. So that's it for now.
So that's that one. I'm gonna give one more. You know what I mean? That's one way of describing just $1 billion, how much money that is compared to what they give us. I like these ones too. True scale of $1 billion. 270 years.
Sound of an American oil
Just to get
hard at work. Want to be a
So
part of it?
600
Listen up.
years.
Hello, my name is Adam
600
Ferrari,
years
and I'm the
to get
CEO.
$2 billion. Now, what's his name? Elon Musk has $600 billion to himself. That your mind can't even comprehend what that means. How much money that is to us making a hourly wage or whatever, the pennies that we at the bottom. And then you'll have us say that we're not slaves. You know what I'm saying? Be free. So I don't know if y'all can see this on the screen. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. It's messed up. So y'all, this won't matter for y'all then. We'll have to check this out later then. But it's showing you the true scale of $1 billion. Y'all wanna come check it out? I'll just come up here and look. Baba Kashab. Real quick. And we this is important. So, and then we'll go into who's the biggest league that expresses $100. That's 10 bands on the table. $100,000 on the table, all hundreds. Billion, you can fit in a suitcase. They take out $1 billion, 22 pounds. Okay. Great, you know what I mean? 100 M's. By $1 billion. $100 for the $1,739 years. Now this is to $1 trillion. They had $1 trillion. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? Bigger than the world. That's a deal. Each contains 10 pallets of $100 million stacked with 10 pallets of $100 million. Look at that. $1 million is worth 12 zeros after. I want to do it 12 zeros after. Is 1,000 billion. It will take you more than 2,700 years should spend $1 trillion if he spent $1 million every year. Alexa, how much debt is America in right now?
America's national debt is $38.4 trillion as of today.
America is in $38.4 trillion in debt. So it says you spend $1 million for 3,000 years. They're spending billions of dollars on a daily to get even just be in debt, let alone how much money this empire, this stuff don't add up at all. So I'm gonna show y'all that. You see how much a billion is, you see how much a trillion is, all right? Now keep that in mind. We're gonna show you who the biggest lick of all time was. And we're gonna pretty much close our class. I'll get a couple more precepts. But
Who needs $1 trillion?
Should the government? Apparently they do. I mean, Elon Musk is about to be a trillionaire. He about to have, once he gets $400 more billion, he's gonna be a trillionaire. Yeah, no one person needs that. They're not doing anything with it. I don't know how they can even use it or what, unless you are, building a nation. That amount of money, it doesn't make sense. But I do know that we're struggling. So obviously they're taking our money. They don't want to give it to us for a reason. Go ahead.
Salakia, sir. It says Elon Musk's net worth is $724.5 billion.
God damn, he's getting closer and closer. He done made 100 billion since last week. It was a couple weeks ago. Go ahead up.
So didn't you just buy somebody out of their presidency at that point?
Oh, he did. Don't you see what's going on? Alexa, what was Elon Musk? Alexa, what was Elon Musk's net worth on?
Elon Musk's net worth is $732.
Alexa, you got to listen. Shut up. Alexa, what was Elon Musk's net worth in April of 2023? Like that.
Elon Musk's net worth was around $130 billion in early 2023.
What was Elon's net worth? Alexa, what was Elon Musk's net worth in August of 2024? This is before the election.
Elon Musk's net worth was about $242 billion in mid-2024.
Right before the election. Alexa, what was Elon Musk's net worth in February of 2025? This is a month after the election.
Elon Musk's net worth was below $400 billion in mid-February 2025.
He flipped $200 billion in a couple months of the election. He bought the election. He is the president of America. It ain't Donald Trump. He went in there, his whole company created that thing called Doge, where they started investigating all the other businesses. He got the back paperwork information of all their businesses. And then a year later, he's the richest man on planet Earth and worth $700 billion. Yeah, he is. He runs the world. Alexa, what is Donald Trump's net worth?
Donald Trump's net worth is estimated at $5.2 billion as of today.
Alexa, stop. He's Trump changed then. He's Trump changed. He's a PR. Elon Musk is running this. You know what I'm saying? And really, I always think that the Pope and the Queen and them is really even worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? Because whoever runs the nation of England, the Kingdom of England. Alexa, what is the GDP of England?
England's GDP was 2.162 trillion pounds in
Alexa,
2022.
stop. So that's $2 trillion. So they get trillions of dollars of money and wealth and power in the UK. They own the whole country. They run the whole country. They got empires, you know what I mean? Stuff around the world. So you can argue if even Elon Musk is really rich compared to the Pope and the Catholic Church and all these people that's up the heavy hitters historically, the Rothschilds and all them. But this thing right here, yeah, Salakia. Let me go into this video a little bit. We're gonna show you the biggest lick of all time. Oh, so I'm thinking I'm sharing it online. Right. Yo,
Inside Syria once you've already included Rhode Island, but rather to ask questions. That's the case for maps like this one, which prompts the question, how come all these countries are way poorer than all these? There are many answers to this question, but the one we'll focus on in this video is imperialism. While many different factors can explain in one way or another the inequality between countries, like geography, climate, natural resources, incidence of disease, and so on, it is imperialism, the need for capitalism to expand and subject more of the world to its control and logic, that can most convincingly explain why these differences have persisted in a world where tremendous material wealth has already been achieved. Unlike other explanations, using the framework of imperialism to understand the global divide between rich and poor allows us to see that it is not by accident or fate that some countries are kept poor. It's by choice. Somebody's choice. In other words, imperialism explains the global balance of power and poverty. But
right. Imperialism is where, the empire, building an empire. America, the Western white European nations wanted to build empires. They go and conquer these lands. They take all their resources. They use in capitalism, and they use in their government and war powers to basically rob the entire planet Earth. That's why where Europe is at is extremely rich and Africa is extremely poor. India is poor. Latin America is poor. Venezuela is poor. How come all these goddamn nations are poor? Because Elon Musk has all their goddamn money. Because Donald Trump has all their money. Because all these rich billionaires have all the money and they're not sharing none of the earth's wealth with everyone else. So we all have to be poor so these few people can have a 3,000-year head start on us right now. You know what I'm saying?
to understand this and the root of that power, we need to go back in time a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Success?
Let's go back a little bit of time. Where are they going?
Our modern world order and its rich-poor divide is undeniably rooted in the history of slavery and
Stop. This is where they start. You want to see how the world got messed up and there's a whole bunch of rich people on earth and there's a whole bunch of poor people on earth? Slavery. The thing that happened to the Lord's chosen people is the foundation of the wealth that was created. There's no other place you can even go to say capitalism couldn't even exist without us going into slavery and captivity. They know this. We don't know this. We don't know how big this thing was. He's going to break it down a little bit more. So lock it.
and colonialism. While the history of the world is long and diverse, with each area and culture having its own record of the sequence of important events that defines it, a common historical juncture for many places is the white guys showing up and ruining it.
You want to know how things went left? The white man showed up to where you lived at, and it went bad from there. Like, you know what I mean? The movie The Roots. You said your mom raised you on roots. He got his son. He put him up to the moon. It was a great day. Kunta Kinte. It all went bad, went left when the white man showed up. It was never the same after that. You know what I'm saying? It's like a nigga selling dope and then get raided. It was just never the same. It was all good a week ago. And they got a picture of the Native Americans. Their lives was great. And then the white man showed up.
That's the case for basically every modern country that's not here, and practically entire continents like Africa, which, despite its incredible diversity of cultures and characteristics, has been pretty uniformly subjected to the violence and damaging effects of colonialism and the transatlantic slave trade. Before the arrival of the Europeans, Africa was a continent with tens of thousands of cultures, some organized in ways that are easily recognizable to modern Western eyes with empire or state-like structures, and others that operated on completely different societal models without a good Western analogy. While the conventional narrative about Africa is one of a backwards continent that was quote-unquote civilized by European colonialism, a horrible and flat-out wrong justification for the atrocities I'll get to in a bit, Africa was actually developing side by side with much of the rest of the world for centuries. Historians note, for example, the advanced agricultural techniques like terracing, crop rotation, green manuring, mixed farming, and regulated swamp farming that made African topsoil rich and fertile for centuries, and the domestication of plants like millet, rice, and yams that was widespread on the continent. While this agriculture was not as productive as that in Europe and Asia, this was probably because land was abundant, and the organization of production around family units instead of feudal lords meant that self-sufficiency didn't require the same maximization that we saw in Europe, which ironically eventually led to the degradation of European soil, where Africa had achieved a more sustainable model. Then there were material goods. While Europe's Industrial Revolution had brought with it an abundance of goods, mass-produced in shiny new factories, especially textiles, African goods like leather, copper, iron, and cloth produced at the same time were praised for their craftsmanship, their durability, and their quality. This is not to say that because it was happening at a smaller scale that Africa did not experience abundance. Like Europe, Africa produced surplus and used this surplus to trade, with complex economies emerging between the three continents of Europe, Asia, and Africa prior to the advent of slavery and colonialism. What I'm trying to say here is that while there were qualitative differences between the countries that are now considered the global north and the global south, it's not always clear that these differences made the global south worse off. Some of the first European explorers of the time say as much in their accounts of the continent, which I'm not going to read out loud because they're long, but I'll put an example on screen if you don't trust me that Europeans thought Africa was pretty cool and not, quote, underdeveloped like we might say today. Like everywhere else in the world, development in Africa was incredibly inconsistent, but even this cursory overview of African development before colonialism and slavery reveals that Africa and more generally Western geographies were not predestined to occupy their role at the bottom of the global order like we might assume today. But this eventually changed. Back in Europe, things shifted, and for that, we can look to the Industrial Revolution and capitalism. The simultaneous advent of the Industrial Revolution and capitalism produced stuff, yes, but more importantly, it produced new needs and new structures of power. Specifically, capitalism produced the need to grow no matter what, and the power of the state to make that happen. As you know, capitalism produces things by committing people to wage labor, instead of meeting your needs individually, as a community, or through trade, all of which happened under previous economic models. Individual needs now had to be met in search of new ways to grow their businesses.
Here it goes. Commercial real
My
quick.
favorite part about being in a learning environment like this is that I'm able to be around so
I
many
know it's
people.
getting a little long. We're going to end the class.
They made this new land profitable not by their own hands. They were either brutally murdered by the Europeans taking it over, or first they found the Caribbean. And since stagnation means death, European capitalists and the states they increasingly controlled started expanding beyond Europe in search of new ways to grow their businesses. While spreading out, they found America. Or, more accurately, first they found the Caribbean. With its agreeable climate great for growing crops and its supplies of gold and silver, the Americas were ripe for businesses to expand their productions and their profits. But they ran into a problem. There wasn't a big enough European labor force to exploit these new lands, and many of the people who lived there were either brutally murdered by the Europeans taking it over, or by the diseases they brought with them. So Europeans found another solution. Using their advantages in ships and weaponry and opening new trade relations, Europeans bought slaves. They made this new land profitable not by their own hands, but with the forced labor of slaves first captured in internal African conflicts and subsequently, in the most abject conditions imaginable, transported to the Americas. It's hard to convey in words how brutal this practice was, and I don't really want to use some of the most graphic images of the time. But needless to say that much of the wealth that Europe acquired by these means, and that today places it among the top half of the world, was achieved through the control and orchestration of this incredibly profitable and incredibly violent process. Estimates vary wildly about how much this benefited Europe in concrete terms, and conversely, how damaging the slave trade was to Africa. While we know that between 12.5 and 20 million people were ripped from the African continent between the 15th and 20th century, estimates about the kinds of reparations that would offset this loss, to use very callous economic terms, range from 100 to nearly $800 trillion.
We just went and seen what $1 billion looked like. We seen what $1 trillion looked like. And they said America's in debt to $30 trillion. And they said this country's about to fall because it owes that much. The amount of money they made or would be owed in pain and suffering and all of those things to just Judites and Benjamites. They didn't talk about the Native Americans. And they're not talking about the Latinos. It's $800 trillion. Arguing, we're the biggest lick that ever happened. You're the biggest heist that ever happened. Your life. They stole the oil. They're going to sell the oil. You're going to burn it in gas, and it's going to fly into the sky, and they're going to have to get more oil. That oil is going to be gone by the end of this month that they selling from Venezuela. Nigga, we still here 400 years later and about to go to work tomorrow for them. Nigga, you're the lick. You are the biggest lick that ever happened. And they made 800 trillion and they're still making money. What's greater than that? You know what I'm saying? Like this, the psychological thing they did to us, and then the amount of weapons they invested in after they enslaved you, is nothing's ever been done like this before. And it's hard to wrap your mind around it because they've done such a great job with this. You know what I'm saying? It's like the average person just can't even comprehend that. So, I mean, $800 trillion, you throw in what happened with the natives, you throw in what happened with, you know what I'm saying, the Latinos, and they ran up a bill that they can't pay. I don't even know if it's that much money on earth to even pay that back. I don't know. You go ahead up.
The logic is, sir, they don't have no choice. They have to go into slavery.
Exactly.
That's all that says to me.
Yeah. They gotta go into slavery. Let's go back to that. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 18. I think we'll end on that. They have to not only go into slavery, they have to die. You know what I'm saying? Right. You can't pay that back in money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay. I'm about to say, I sure you got some children. You don't got no children on the way. Not yet that we know of. You know what I'm saying? We waiting. You know what I mean? But how much money, you know what I'm saying, would you take for your child's life? How much can a nigga offer you after he murders and violently murders your wife and your children? And you be like, all right, I'm good. You see what I'm saying? He gotta die. You feel me? I need that money and I'm about to kill you. You can give me some money for it? For sure, run that. Then you still gonna die at the end of this. Right. That's justice. You know what I'm saying? There's no other way they can pay back, what, 800 trillion? You think we can be bought with a little measly $800 trillion? You can kidnap 20 million people and rape them and work them for it? You think we gonna sell out on that? Some of you niggas will. But niggas, men of the Lord not gonna let you do that. Christ ain't gonna let you do that. Like, Commander Johanna said something so heavy. I think I talked about it with certain brothers before. One of the heaviest things I've seen in the truth was he was saying that the punishment that the white man deserves, we're such a good people that we won't see it through because we're that righteous. Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans would stop the Lord from giving them the punishment they deserve. He's seen all those things, understands those things we can't even understand, and he's going to do what needs to be done because we would let them slide, not knowing like, nah, this is still right. It's like the most evilest, wickedest nigga you can think of that hates Edomites and would torture them to death. He's gonna be like, Lord, they've had enough, and he's gonna be like, nigga, Shema, sit down, Shaquat. You don't know. This is what they've done. You know what I mean? So they run up a bill that they got to go. Go ahead, let's go. Revelation chapter 18. And then I guess we'll go to Obadiah once again. These are two glorious things. Let's go to verse 2.
This is the book of Revelations, chapter 18 and verse 2.
Mm-hmm.
And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils.
Right.
And the whole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird.
Right. This nation is going to fall. This is the glorious thing that John is seeing revealed to him, that this great Babylon that could not be stopped, that's stolen trillions and trillions of dollars, has fallen. It's become the habitation of every foul spirit and devils. Keep going.
Verse 3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication,
Mm-hmm.
and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her,
Mm-hmm.
and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies.
That's what makes America great. All the trades they do with all these different nations. Once again, Africa's poor because America's going to Africa, stealing their gold, stealing their diamonds, stealing their minerals, and then coming and selling it on the world trade market. And they're doing that everywhere. Venezuela, Taiwan, China, Arabia, they're going around robbing everybody, stealing everything, and then selling their resources. But the people along the way, they get rich amongst these things. They get along with the white men. You understand? Keep reading.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people.
Right, that's heavy too. It's like another voice. One voice is saying, Babylon, Babylon the Great is falling. Another voice is calling the alarm, telling the niggas to come out of her, my people. Read.
That ye be not partakers of her sin.
Don't enjoy the sins of America. Enjoy the richness and the wealth of this place and live like them. Keep going.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
These punishments that come to this place are not made for us, it's made for them. Keep going.
For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities.
Like now you start thinking about all the crimes. Like to this day, they say that Esau is doing the most when it concerns to abusing children online, to abusing children in the flesh, to raping women, to selling drugs, to robbing oil, to like how many lists and crimes have reached to heaven that we see today with cameras and the internet and the government and DNA testing. They doing all manner of evil right now in front of us. Imagine what they've been doing since these days, how evil these people were for the past 400, 500, 2,000, 4,000 years since these Greeks and Romans came out of the caves of the Caucasus Mountains, man. These are the disgusting bastard people. The white man is the goddamn devil the Bible speaks of, man. These are evil and disgusting people, and the Lord has heard the crimes they've reached to heaven that he can't ignore these things. Go ahead.
Verse.
Hold on, no. This brother Ashiar. It's like he said.
I'm just thinking about physically trillions of dollars actually reaching and going past the sky. Like actually reaching money that the name is actually reaching up to that spot.
Man, that's like the Tower of Babel. They feel like they can. That's what Elon Musk is trying to get to Mars. He's trying to use his money to get up out of this stratosphere and go somewhere else, man. But I see the money that you're saying. I also see the blood. You understand? Right. I think that's Baruch. That chapter said the blood of the saints. You know what I'm saying? Or the blood of the Israelites has cried up to the Lord. Well, go ahead.
Verse 6. Reward her even as she rewarded you.
You took $800 trillion from you. You got to take $800 trillion from her. Go ahead.
And double unto her double.
You done murdered and killed all these billions and millions of people, and that's gonna have to happen to them. Keep going.
According to her works, in the cup which she hath filled to her double.
Yeah, they gotta get a double portion of what they've done to us. So once again, they're not, even if they pay reparations, they're not gonna say, you know what, we're gonna double down and give you a 1,600. I don't even know that number. $1,600 billion. I don't even know if that's a, you know what I mean, $1 trillion. They're not doing that, man. Keep going, and then we'll kill ourselves. That would be justice. You'd be so convicted of the evil y'all done, pay us the money, and then be like, you know what, I'm just gonna walk off a cliff because I don't even deserve to be here. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 7. How much she hath glorified herself.
Right.
And lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow gave her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen, and am no widow.
Right. Let's see. I like verse 9. Let's go with that real quick.
Verse 9. And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her.
Right. So the kings of the earth, they live deliciously. And it talks about in verse 8 that plagues are coming one day, death, mourning, and famine. She'll be burned with fire, man. So that's the only solution to cleanse the earth, to even make those things balanced and righteous in some way, shape, or form. But we also, the balances us as being in rulership forever and gaining the kingdom of heaven and letting this earth, you know, be healed from all the evil that they've done and letting us heal over those next forever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is our, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Like, if you went through something traumatic and PTSD, you came back and they give you a time to like heal. And we've been through so much pain and suffering, we have to have eternity to, you know what I'm saying, process and be better. You know what I mean? Right. Like this is our healing term after that. You know what I mean? Let's go back to Obadiah again and we'll close out on Obadiah. One of the shortest and greatest books and chapters in the Bible. That is like right after Daniel, Joel, Amos. Right after Amos. Let's go to verse I like the one where it says bring me down, but we read that last week. Let's just go to verse 8.
This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 8. Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom. Right. And understanding out of the out of the mount of Esau.
Y'all think y'all so smart, so intelligent, so much better than everybody. That's how they taught the white supremacists. We conquered. We developed the land. We won that battle. We didn't steal America. We conquered it. We're such a great nation of people. Y'all deserve to be our slaves because we're smarter and better than you. Well, the Lord is saying, the Lord's going to deal with your smart behinds, like it. Going to deal, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be better. You know what I mean? He's going to deal with y'all smart ass people that you think you are. Keep going.
Verse 9. And thy mighty men, O to man, shall be dismayed to the end of every one of the.
Go ahead. I need this one to ring on home. Go ahead, ICR. Read verse 8. We got to read this one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
The book of Obadiah, chapter 1 and verse 8. Shall I not in that day,
right,
set the Most High, even destroy the wise men out of Edom,
right,
and understanding out of the mount of Esau.
Okay, verse 9.
And thy mighty
and
men,
thy who?
And thy mighty men.
All those intelligent, military, wise men that think they're so great and intelligent of Teman. You know what Teman is? In modern day Germany. Germany is known for its military and its technological advancements. Why they love the Benz. It's why they love the Volkswagen and the Volvo and every great technology that came out of Hitler and his scientists and the nuclear bomb. Einstein, they all lived in Germany. These wise men create a lot of weaponry. These people that have this military, the Lord is saying he's about to little boy them. He's about to champ them. Champ, wise men and Teeman, buddy, pal. Keep going.
Teeman shall be dismayed.
They're gonna be shocked that their plans didn't work. They're gonna be surprised. They can't believe that everything they did to win this battle didn't work. Keep going.
To the end that everyone in the
this one we got to read this one real slow. All right.
To the end that everyone
read
of the mount of Esau,
that every one of the mount of Esau, these children of Esau, read,
may be cut off by slaughter.
May be what?
May be cut off by slaughter.
Yeah, thus saith the Lord, man. That's the only way we're going to get justice. You know what I mean? That's going to pay back that debt of 800, 900, 1,000 trillion dollars. They don't even have a word for that I know of. Once you get past 1,000 trillions, it's a gazillion. You know what I mean? The number, we don't even use that terminology of how much they've done. And he's only calculating the slavery that happened. He's acting like it ended. You know what I'm saying? That's the cold part about it. I can't wrap my mind around it. That he's counting from when we got here to when we got free and not accounting all the money that's made. This is the most wealthiest time in the past 100 years. Right. They got even more richer. Slavery ain't nothing compared to what happened then. When you got somebody running around with $600 billion. Y'all been to these rich places and nice places and paved roads and planes and glorious living. They're living deliciously right now. And it's off the backs of us. And shit, they all have to be cut off by slaughter. Read.
Right.
The next verse. Verse 10.
Verse 10.
And it's not because of their blonde hair. It's not because of their blue eyes. It's not because of their stringy hair or their flat butts. Read why it's happening. Verse 10.
For thy violence
against
thy brother Jacob.
Right. This is the reason why. Because of the death and the bloodshed they did against us is why the Lord is going to do this. Keep reading.
Shame shall cover thee. And thou shalt be cut off forever.
Right. And then you want to have some half a homo called Zion Lex come out and speak against the 12 tribes chart. You tell me who fits this more. What nation of people deserve justice more? He can't even talk about capitalism running the world without mentioning blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Am I lying? You see, he said, how did this country in the world get so big and wealthy? Europeans and white people get so wealthy. First thing we're going to start off with slavery. Next thing, any place on earth where white people landed first. And then we go to the Caribbean and and all this wealth that's created in America that you see, the greatest empire that ever exists, is because of us. And you mean to tell me the Bible says one nation deserves to be cut off forever because of the violence they did to another people, and it ain't us? I don't know how else it could be anyone else. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can't be anyone else but us. You know what I'm saying? And so keep going. Once more time, verse 10.
From God. For thy violence against thy brother Jacob.
Right.
Shame shall cover thee. And thou shalt be cut off forever.
Thus saith the Lord, man. That's all I got. With that, we're going to close out the class. Say shalom, Yahweh Shem Yashai, Baka Thumb to all the brothers. Yahweh Shema Thumb, Hashem Yashai to all the sisters. All right, class dismissed. Yeah, buddy.